Ever wondered about the origins of the most influential book in history, the Bible? Let's dive into the beginning of this sacred text, starting with the Old Testament. Originally, these stories and teachings were passed down from generation to generation through oral tradition. It wasn't until around 1200 to 165 BC that these narratives began to be inscribed in text, forming what we now know as the Old Testament. This book wasn't written in a single sitting. It's a compilation of various writings spanning centuries, each contributing to the rich tapestry of history, culture, and faith. And the languages used? Primarily Hebrew, but also Aramaic and Greek. These languages, deeply rooted in the regions where these stories unfolded, add another layer of richness to the text. The Old Testament, a rich tapestry of history, culture, and faith, sets the stage for the next part of the Bible, the New Testament. So stick around as we delve deeper into this fascinating journey. So how did we transition from the Old Testament to the New Testament? Well, after the last book of the Old Testament was penned, there was a 400-year period known as the intertestamental period, or the silent years. This was a time of significant change, not just in the religious landscape, but also in the language used to communicate these sacred texts. The shift from Hebrew, the language of the Old Testament, to Greek, the language of the New Testament, was a major transition. But the most profound change was yet to come. With the birth of Jesus, we mark the beginning of the New Testament era. His life, teachings, and sacrifice would introduce a new covenant, a new way to understand our relationship with the divine. The New Testament era begins, introducing a new covenant and a new hope for humanity. And with that, we transition into a new chapter in the story of faith, forever changing the course of history. But what makes the New Testament so important? Well, it's not just a collection of books, it's a chronicle of Jesus' life and teachings, a foundation for the Christian faith. It begins with the birth of Jesus, traverses through his teachings, miracles, and parables, culminates in his crucifixion and resurrection, and concludes with the start of Christianity as a faith. But its influence doesn't stop there. The New Testament has profoundly shaped our world, from art to politics to ethics. It has inspired countless works of art. From the breathtaking frescoes of the Sistine Chapel to the poignant verses of Dante's Divine Comedy, it has informed political ideologies, encouraging principles of equality, justice, and compassion. It has even shaped our ethical frameworks, instilling values of love, forgiveness, and charity. From its ancient origins to its widespread impact, the Bible stands as a testament to the human desire for understanding, faith, and connection. And